China's not an enemy. And I think that's important for people to clearly understand. They are going to develop themselves and are developing themselves into a great power. That is not to say, however, that they are an enemy.
Okay. Joining me now, Kristina Wong, of course, our outstanding Pentagon contact, courtesy of Breitbart News. Kristina, Mark Milley. Okay, so China's not our enemy. He's going to give China a heads up before Trump attacks. And now somebody advised Joe Biden not to shoot down a spy balloon until it completed its mission. How worried about Mark Milley do I need to be?
Well, thanks for having me on, Jesse. I think we need to be really worried about Mark Milley. So Biden claims that he wanted to shoot down the balloon on Wednesday, yet the balloon didn't get shot down until Saturday. Why was the balloon even allowed to enter our airspace? We saw it coming. We saw it go over Alaska, into Canada, into the U.S. Why wasn't it shot down before it hit Alaska or the continental U.S.? Mark Milley has that back channel with his counterpart. Why didn't he talk to his counterpart then? There's a lot of questions that need to be answered.
That's a very good question. Why not pick up that same phone he was going to use to tattletale on Trump? Okay, I have another question. Did Joe Biden hide this, or did they attempt to hide this from the public? Because it really seems like the public kind of found out about this because they looked up in the sky and nobody told us. Did they try to hide this whole thing?
So clearly they tried to hide it. The balloon reportedly entered January 28th. The public wasn't briefed on it until February 2nd. So you had 6-7 days of the balloon just heading towards the U.S., floating around the U.S., and allegedly they tried to hide it because Secretary of State Anthony Blinken had an upcoming trip to China. They didn't want to ruin the trip. They were trying to build on momentum from the past, some meeting in Bali. They wanted to get climate deals with China. They don't see China as a threat. And so they didn't want to spoil it. They just hoped that, no one would see the balloon and it would just go on its merry way, collecting information on our sensitive military sites all across the country, probably praying that no one would see the balloon.
Kristina, Anthony Blinken was scheduled to go to China. Now he's not going to China anymore. Here's a little Blinken.
In light of China's unacceptable action, I am postponing my planned travel this weekend to China. We concluded that conditions were not conducive for a constructive visit at this time.
But that's a lie because he was still going to China after they knew about the balloon. He only canceled the trip after we found out about the balloon. Do I have that right?
You do. And notice that he says postpone. They're not canceling the trip even. They're postponing it. So, as not to send a signal to China that they want to escalate matters. So they're not even canceling the trip. Meanwhile, China's threatening retaliation over us shooting down their balloon in our sovereign territory. So it's pretty clear China's not scared of Biden. He's not scared of this administration. It's really alarming.
Support the First TV today and get instant access to exclusive specials like Who is Ron DeSantis, the history of FBI scandals, and America's worst presidents. Visit thefirsttv.com/support or download the First TV app to become a supporter and start watching today.